This demo will show you how to get a quotation, like you see here. You have PDFs that you get, and put it into a work order as a requisition or reservation, depending if it's stock or non-stock. And so the goal is to get it into a work order. So the first thing is, how do you get the data out of a PDF? If it's not protected, you can just use the click and drag to select. You can also use the Alt key to hold down and select with the Alt key. But this PDF is protected, so I can't grab the data. But I have a template that we'll be using to populate the data, and on it there's a link. So that link will take you to a website where you can take a file that you have. So one of these quotes I'll take and convert it into Excel directly. If you have Adobe Acrobat Pro, of course, you can do that with converting in that software. So I hit download output file, and after it's downloaded, of course, I want to open, and it will hopefully open the Excel file pretty quick. If it's not, I'll have to just go find it in my download folder. I have Excel running already, so it probably did. There you go. So if the quote, say it came in and it had, sometimes we're quoted by a company that actually knows our SAP numbers, and it may have a weird price, but sometimes we even have prices where space is in front, and like the dot is separated by spaces. So you have some weird problems like that. Anyways, now I don't even have to use the Alt key to grab the data. I can just grab the data by click and drag. Oh, and if this is the quantity, say this is say they had the quantities already in there, I can grab all the data at once if it matched my template. So I have quantity, description, and price on my template. Quantity, description, and price. Perfect. So I can just paste right in there. So in the white spots. Now the price goes in as it was on the quote with the weird, fractions of pennies and so on, which SAP won't like. But in the template, it fixes that. So the price is now rounded to the nearest penny. And all those spaces are removed, so the formula is like basically rounding it and substituting any spaces with removing the spaces. So it fixes the prices. And if there was a SAP number, then it's going to extract the SAP number into the SAP number field, if that was a SAP number in front. If in front was an asset number, like sometimes I have an asset tag, like the equipment number in front, well, that brings that out in here in case you want to show that as a separate field or whatever. Sometimes they have it as a separate column. But anyway, it will conjoin it in the description like this. And if you didn't want that, if it was duplicating the matter, then you just delete this. It's just a template, so it's not hurting anything. You have the quantity, description, price. The units of measure, of course, you can change that. It defaults to EA, but you can change that as you need. And then the colors columns are the ones we're going to bring into SAP. Either way, you're going to have to put in goods recipient and delivery point and so on. And I can have that as a drop down. So you pick where you're ordering it from, or the Gordonsville shop, and just drag that down. Now, how this gets this data and populates these columns, even with material group for non-stock, is from the drop-down table here. So as you add to this, it'll automatically be available in your drop-down. So now I'm ready to copy. Oh, by the way, if your work order has multiple operations, you know how you've done this before, every time you buy one row, it's going to ask you what operation you're charging against. So if your work order has multiple operations, then usually you keep the first operation 10 for all your material purchases, especially for that job. Then when you copy the data over, you would include that operation column. So it defaults in anyways, but sometimes maybe you don't want an operation 10, you're buying against operation 20, so you'd specify that. So I need that data. I don't need the SAP number. Say these are all non-stock. So So I grab the quantities and all the way to the operation and even material group. So I just copy all that, and then in my SAP, I paste into the right field, make sure everything looks good. It's gone to the right columns because it matches my template. I made my columns match with this button and saved it. And then hit enter. Oh, it just says my approval path because I'm not actually allowed to buy things. But besides that, everything is good. So that's it, the demo of how to mass populate a work order for multiple requisitions, whether it's for, this is an example for non-stocks. I don't have to go through that pop-up every time and put in all the details. It's just quick and easy, and it cleanses the data that you're getting from the quote. Less chance of mistakes and typos and so on. That's it.